up your YouTube, search for Stukeley Meadows, watch on your big screen.
Or another device if you're at home.
Get yourself comfy, this could take a while. What a happy scene. Something new every day for your long-term memory. This is so exciting, it is nearly time for a Stukeley assembly.
Well, hello there everybody and welcome to today's assembly. Let's get started in our usual ways. For each other we, every day we, to improve we, and together we will. And our everyday focuses are, and our Stukeley motto is, and our Stukeley curriculum is, and 4 words that always make the magic happen. Excellent. Okay, so here we are at another Tuesday assembly, but not our values assembly, don't forget, although those values will always be really, really important. It's our curriculum assembly. Now, last week we began to think about that word curriculum. Can you remember? I wonder if any of you remember what that actually meant. Pause me now and have a quick think. Did anyone get it? Curriculum is really a kind of a plan or a program of study. So in our school, we tend to think about the subjects that we learn about each week. PE, music, French, English, maths, all those kind of things. That's what we really mean when we're talking about our curriculum. Now, I also mentioned last time that when we would have assembly, that we would begin to learn a little bit more about each of those subjects, about what we mean when we say we're doing art or we're doing science. What does that look like? What is science anyway? And I said that we would be meeting some experts in those subjects that would hopefully help us understand a little bit more about them. And I said that we might recognise some of those experts and some of them would be new to us. So I wonder who our expert might be this week. Let's go meet them. See you in a bit.
Hello, Mrs. Stevens has asked me to talk to you a little bit about my learning journey before I became a teacher. So when I left secondary school, which for some of you may be St Peter's or Hinchinbrook, I went to Cambridge Regional College and studied art and design, mainly focused on sculpture and 3D, making things three-dimensional, which I still really enjoy doing now. From there, I went to university and studied art and design. And at the end of those 4 years, we got to put together a really big exhibition. And at the time, there was a very famous artist called Damien Hirst who was just starting out, and he was really interested in DNA and humans and things living and what inside makes you, you. Hence why in my house I've still got lots of these little creatures. This one's called Steve. Now, in my spare time, when I'm not busy teaching, I still like to go to lots of galleries and exhibitions. Here are some flyers from some of the latest ones that I went to. Anthony Gormley, who's the gentleman that made The Angel of the North. And then this one, Year 3 is studying this artist, this particular artist at the moment. This was from the Bridget Riley exhibition from a couple of years ago. So my main advice to anybody that would like to be pursue art, or maybe when they're older think about going to university to study it further, would be to keep one of these. Keep it filled, keep it with you. Lots of you do drawing and painting in your own time anyway, but how lovely to have somewhere where you've got a little record where you can keep it all together. And just to finish, finally, here's a picture of me from my graduation. When you go to university, you get a special ceremony at the end to celebrate all your achievements. So that's a photograph of me and my family from where I graduated.
Thanks, Mrs. Page. That was really interesting. I didn't know that Mrs. Page was really interested in sculpture. Now, I knew that she was very artistic, but I didn't know that sculpture was her thing. I wonder if you even knew that sculpture and kind of model making was even a kind of art. Perhaps you did, perhaps you didn't, I don't know. I'm just going to show you a picture of the sculpture that Mrs. Page referred to by Anthony Gormley, the Angel of the North. Look, there it is. It's really hard to see from that picture just how big it is. But when I went on holiday to Scotland last year, we drove past it, and so I could see that it is absolutely huge. So huge, in fact, that when the sculpture was made, it was made out of steel, which is a kind of metal. It had to be made in 3 parts and then kind of transported in 3 parts and put together in situ, which kind of means in the place where it actually is. So that was that particular piece of art there. I'm going to show you another picture of a sculpture. This is by Henry Moore, who is also a very famous British sculptor. And this is an abstract piece of work because he's an abstract artist. Those of you in year 1 should be able to explain what that's all about. I wonder if you can tell what it actually is. I wonder if you can tell what it's made out of. It's actually sculpted out of bronze. I'll let you have a think. Pause me if you'd like to, of course, to discuss what you think that might actually be a sculpture of. So when we're doing art at school, what is it we mean? Now, Mrs. Page said that she went and studied art at college, and then she went on to art school in Leeds when she was older. I wonder what you think of when we do art at school. If I said, right, we're doing art this afternoon, everybody, I wonder what you think we would do. Certainly, I know the children in my class, when I said we were doing art later on Friday, said, oh, we're getting the paints out then. And sometimes we do use painting when we do art, of course, but it's a bit more than that too, isn't it? Now, when we study art at school, when we learn about art, we tend to start by looking at a particular artist and their work. Now, that artist, we've tried to include lots of artists, artists that are more modern, so are still alive and working today, artists that maybe worked hundreds of years ago, and artists kind of somewhere in the middle between those two. And we've also tried to look at art from different cultures, and we've tried to look at different kinds of art, because art is more than just drawing. It can be more than just painting. It can be photographers, it can be sculptures like the ones that we've seen. There's lots of different kinds of art, and we have tried as teachers to make sure that when you study art at Stukeley Meadows, you get to look at and experience and learn about lots of different kinds of art. Now, we usually begin by looking at the work of the artist, by thinking and exploring and discovering the techniques and the skills that they use to produce that kind of art. And then we try and imitate that. We try and use those skills and techniques to produce our own pieces of art. And then gradually, as we become more familiar with it and learn more about it, that we can begin to innovate that a little bit, using those skills and techniques in slightly different ways, and begin to produce our own pieces of art, perhaps in a particular style of an artist that we've been learning about. And hopefully over time, when you get all the way to year 6 and you've learned about lots of different artists and you've learned about lots of different famous pieces and works of art, you can then begin to think about expressing preferences. You can think about what kind of art you like. Like Mrs. Page, you might decide that you really love sculpture and you like working in 3D and producing your own sculptures. You may find that you really love to use watercolours, or you love to do printing, or you love using photography in exciting ways. So there's lots of different ways that you might explore that subject further, and our aim at Stukeley is that by the time you've learned all about art through the 6 or 7 years that you are learning about it at our school, that you will be able to express yourselves in artistic ways and begin to use all of those ideas and skills and techniques that you've learned about to produce your own works of art and develop those ways going forward. Now, I was wondering about work. So let's say, for example, that you love art so much that you would like to go into a career in art, I wonder what that might look like. Now, it could be that you're a fantastic sculptor and artist and people will pay you to paint them pictures or to create sculptures for them, and that's brilliant, and that happens to lots of really good artists. But are there other ways that you could use art as a career or to help you in the job world? I wonder. Well, you could have a little think about that, but there was a study done by a university, I think it was an Australian university actually, that said that one of the largest or fastest growing areas of work that people go into is in what they call digital art. So people that are digital illustrators, multimedia artists, video producers, graphic designers. A lot of this work, or all of this work, is being done using technology. So you've got smartphones and we've got tablets and we've got lots of other technology that we can use to produce art in different ways. So it's not even just painting or sculpting or photography or printing or even textile work. There's so many different art forms out there and different ways that you might use art or might be able to pursue an artistic career. Now, Mrs. Page studied art at university and then she has gone into teaching. So there are lots of avenues that you might choose to take. One other academic study said that art is a fantastic subject to learn about and to study, even if you don't go into an artistic career, because it says that by learning about art that you are improving your fine motor skills, so that really kind of fine work that we do with our fingers. You're also producing hand-eye coordination. So if you are interested in music, for example, or you think you're interested in sport, then art is a really good way to improve your hand-eye coordination. It improves your problem-solving skills and also your critical analysis and critical thinking skills. So art has lots and lots of benefits. And they said, but because of the kind of world that we live in, where everything is on screen so much, that there is always a place for somebody who has a really good artistic eye that might not necessarily be in an artistic career. So if you're really good at kind of thinking how things could look nice, how you could set things up so that they look nice, then there is always going to be a job and a career for you going forward. So art can be a brilliant subject to study, even if you don't go directly into an artistic career. So some interesting things to think about there, aren't they? So when we're talking about when we do art at school, what is art? What does it look like? And what does it mean to be doing art? There's some really useful things I hope to think about from today's assembly. Now, we will find out more about this another time, but a really big thank you once again to Mrs. Page for just sharing with us her thoughts about art and about her journey in the art world. So everybody, don't forget, work hard, be kind this week, as always, and I'll see you next time with a new expert. I wonder who it might be next time. I wonder what they're going to talk about. I don't even know yet. So here we go. Let's see what happens this week. Take care, everybody. See you soon.
There it was, our first expert, and actually somebody that you all know, because she's one of us. She's a Stukeley stalwart, but Mrs. Stevens promises me we're going to meet some people soon who you may never have seen before. Okay, let's finish with birthday. Hey, 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 it's time to say we've got a Stukeley birthday. Hey, 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 it's time to say we've got a Stukeley birthday. Oh, come on! And then everyday knowledge. Happy birthday today to Sophia in year 4 and Harry in year 3. I hope you both have had a great start to the day with family and friends. You've got lots more fun to come. Lots to celebrate. Another Stukeley birthday. Brilliant. Now let's finish with everyday knowledge for you. Oh, we are learning to remember things worth remembering, learning to remember things worth remembering, learning to remember things worth remembering, everyday knowledge for you. We are learning to remember things worth remembering, learning to remember things worth remembering, learning to remember things worth remembering, everyday knowledge for you. Here we go, straight in. How many seconds in a minute? 60, that's right. How many minutes in an hour? 60, that's right. How many hours in a day? 24, absolutely correct. How many days in a week? 7, yes there are. Let's go. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Come on! How many days in a month? Hang on. 1 month has 28 days, the rest have 31. How many months have 30 days? 30 days has September. That's it, September, April, June and November. Well done. How many months in a year? Yes, 12. Let's go through them. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. That's it, December. Okay, how many days in a year? Nearly always 365. Every 4 years we have 366. That's right, congratulations. How many years in a decade? That's right, 10. How many years in a century? That's right, 100. Okay, let's move on to measurement. Let's move on to measuring length. How long things are, measuring distance. How many millimeters are there in a centimetre? That's right, there are 10. How many centimetres are there in 1 metre? That's right, there are 100. How many metres are there in a kilometre? That's right, 1,000. See you next time.